Our next company is MRO Exchange, MROmarketplace.com. And MROmarketplace.com, it's an online business-to-business marketplace. And from reading here, it's essentially a system that will match aircraft maintenance projects with compatible MRO or other aviation service provider. Okay, so this is an online, as I read this, an online kind of marketplace, matching essentially those who need services and those who want to provide services. So our presenter is Vince Mariano. Vince?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Vince Mariano. I'm the president of MRO Exchange. We are the owners and operators of the website MROmarketplace.com. I'm joined here by my colleague Asher Ben-Basat in the back, and it's an honor to be here at AeroInnovate. Thank you very much for the somewhat late invitation. MROmarketplace.com is our website, and it is an online B2B website for aircraft owners and operators to facilitate their aircraft maintenance transactions. We give them a platform to post the full work scope and any related RFP documentation from their particular project so that they can solicit inquiries and quotes against those projects in real time from MROs and other aviation service providers worldwide. Currently, the way business is transacted in the aviation MRO space is that owner-operators typically limit themselves to the same MRO or limited network of MROs that they've traditionally transacted business with and don't go outside of that scope. What we're attempting to do with MROmarketplace.com is throw open the doors of the marketplace, if you will, by bringing an e-procurement solution online, assembling the MROs on one end of the equation, and then marketing ourselves to aircraft owner-operators on the other side of the transaction to serve as a common marketplace for all of these transactions to take place. So our site identifies or helps identify the best MRO for a particular maintenance project. It gives owner-operators the ability to obtain multiple MRO quotes for a particular project so that it enables faster comparison and evaluation. And it also simultaneously reduces lead time as well because you're putting a project online and you're getting a pretty quick response, a much quicker response than you would otherwise get if you had solicited one MRO directly over the phone or via email. How do we intend to make money with our website? Two different ways primarily. On one end, we're going to charge MROs a subscription fee to access the details of the individual maintenance projects that are posted on our site. And on the other end of the equation, we'll charge a nominal fee to aircraft owner-operators for each project that they post on our site. In both instances, it's a tiered structure, or structure that is based on the size of the aircraft or the type of MRO that you are. So if you're a commercial aviation air MRO, you'll be assessed a larger subscription fee than you would if you were a simple general aviation MRO. Probably the most important thing I can stress to you right now about this opportunity is that currently there is no established common marketplace on the web or anywhere right now for owner-operators to solicit projects or solicit quotes for their aircraft maintenance projects. So we have the first mover advantage, and we've already registered over 50 MROs, including 4 of the top 10 worldwide, and over 40 airlines and lessors without any advertising. We've done that direct, reaching out to these airlines, soliciting them, and on the merits of our opportunity here that we presented them with, these entities have all registered on our site. I can tell you pretty assuredly that e-procurement is the future of aircraft maintenance procurement. E-procurement has already taken place in virtually every other industry and has shown that there's numerous benefits that are derived from e-procurement. And that's, I think, something that aircraft owner-operators have the most to benefit from. because as I see it, they're not fully leveraging their position in the aftermarket. As an owner-operator, you pretty much have two opportunities to leverage the market in your favor. One, when you go to buy an aircraft, and the other opportunity is one after you purchase that aircraft, now you've got to evaluate your aftermarket choices. Most owner-operators are not doing that sufficiently, in my judgment, and they need to be out there soliciting quotes from a broader range of MRO service providers. On the flip side of the equation, you've got all these MROs out there that are adding capabilities and certifications all the time. They're expanding the types of aircraft that they can work on. You've got business aviation or OEMs that are indicating that they're going to start working doing MRO work on their competitors' aircraft. So you're going to have more options out there in the aftermarket. But if you're only going to one or two places, you have no idea whether you're securing the best available provider at the point in time when you need aircraft maintenance. So our platform will facilitate information exchange on both sides of the MRO transaction. This basically reiterates that E-Procurement is superior to RFP sourcing or soliciting one provider at a time for the reasons I just went over. These alternative MROs that are not being explored right now, they can provide owner-operators with quotes that are better labor maintenance rates, get you a more preferable slot from that MRO, and turnaround time, and that's dollars saved right there. So we want to bring market forces to bear on these transactions that help owner-operators realize a lot of efficiencies that they wouldn't otherwise have done. And another very key point is that we believe that this concept is applicable to every sector of aviation. We've even spoken with retired military people that have approached us and said, hey, we've got air forces in Asia Pacific that are interested in expanding their MRO options and seeing where they could send their aircraft outside of their own shops. So we see every sector of aviation potentially can be benefiting from our platform. Really quick, I just want to give you a quick overview of the scope of the market that we're talking about here. Across all industries, the MRO industry supports about 123,000 aircraft. The total MRO industry is valued annually at $131 billion, of which commercial air transport is about 46% or $60.7 billion of spend. Military is the next largest segment, followed by business aviation and general aviation. Looking at it from the MRO category standpoint, it's broken down. MRO is traditionally broken down by engine, component, heavy airframe modifications, and line. And amongst all of those categories, we certainly see the potential for many projects in each of those categories are potential candidates for our website that can benefit from being better sourced by putting them on our site and letting MROs come to you with the best terms for that particular project. There are a lot of trends that finally prompted us to go forward with our concept. Most importantly, by all projections, the outsourcing of maintenance events is going to continue to increase. You've got lessors, low-cost carriers, cargo and charter airlines that are all, based on my direct communications with them, desiring more MRO options. And then over the next 10 years, look at the volume of aircraft and MRO work that's going to be increasing. You've got 16,000 plus commercial aircraft deliveries that are forecast. You've got over 6,000 retirements pending, which is going to, each of those projects are actually part out or tear down projects that can be submitted to our site and bid upon, because more MROs that are out there are increasingly undertaking part out and tear down projects in addition to their core business. And most of this growth is going to take place in the emerging markets of Africa, India, Asia Pacific, and Middle East. And I think I've run out of time.
Yes, you've run out of time. Thank you, Vince. So do we have any questions? Softball, what do your financials look like?
Well, we're entirely self-funded for this point, so we don't have any debt. And we can enter into any number of different arrangements. We're looking for a minimum investment of about $250,000 for the various expenses that we have for advertising, conference exhibit, being an exhibitor at conferences. But we have the platform in place. We have the platform in place. The website is functional. We've already had 2 major airlines that have published their projects on our site. We've had commercial aircraft that have already, business jets that have already published on our site. And we have the 50 MROs that we've already registered on our site and 40 airlines and lessors. So we have a substantial footprint to build off of. In addition to being debt-free, we need an investor now to take us to the next level, either for the long term or potentially to feed us off to a bigger, more established aviation company.
I have a question for you. About 6 years ago, I did some work in the MRO space, some consulting work. And at the time, there were websites that said that they did MRO work, but it was primarily a parts marketplace. Are you familiar with them, and how are you going to succeed in an area that they said they were going to do but didn't?
Well, there's plenty of parts sites on the web. The ILS and PartSpace are 2 of the more prominent ones. I'm not sure which ones that you're referring to. There may have been those, but we are not interested in parts so much as we are interested in projects. That's the distinction, is that we want to carve out that niche for us as the place where you come with a full major maintenance event, whether it's a discretionary project or a heavy maintenance visit, and you post that work scope online, and instantaneously MROs evaluate it and say, here's our quote, here's our time that we can take your aircraft in. So we're distinct from all those parts suppliers out there. Some of those parts suppliers out there may be interested in registering on our site, because when they see a project posted on our site, that's an opportunity for them to reach out to the aircraft owner or operator and contact them about the parts, because it's either going to be them who buys the parts or the MRO that winds up paying for the parts and marking them up substantially.
Yes?
What's your revenue or monetization model?
The revenue or monetization model.
In terms of how we plan on charging?
Generate income?
Yep. So again, we will be charging MROs a subscription fee to access the details of these maintenance projects. On the other side, we'll be charging the aircraft owner-operators a one-time fee to post a project. And again, it's a scale based on the size of the aircraft. We have 4 categories of aircraft and 4 categories of MRO based on the types of aircraft that they service.
Independent of actual execution of the work between the companies?
Yeah, we want to establish ourselves as a neutral platform that doesn't get involved in either referring work in one particular direction or what goes on after the initial engagement, because all sorts of issues that can come up that, you know, we want to disclaim any, you know, issues that come up after the initial engagement. We're a matchmaker, essentially.
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.